യെസ്, അവിടെ ചെന്നൈയുടെ ഒരു റിക്കവറി കാണാം. ആ ഒരു കോണ്ടാക്റ്റ്, മിസ്സായ പന്ത് തിരിച്ചു പിടിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയുള്ള ഒരു ശ്രമമായിരുന്നു.
മുർസേവിനെ ഡ്രിബിൾ ചെയ്ത് മുന്നേറുള്ള മുർസേവിനെ ഫൗൾ ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇവിടെയായിരുന്നു നേരത്തെ കിട്ടിയ ഒരു അവസരം. ലെൻഡുങ്കലിന്റെ ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്ന് ഒരു പാരലൽ ക്രോസ് ആണ്, പക്ഷേ ഇവിടെ ദേവജിത്ത് മജുംദാർ വളരെ കൃത്യമായി തന്നെ ഫോളോ ചെയ്യുന്നു.
വീണ്ടും ചെന്നൈയിൻ എഫ് സിക്ക് അനുകൂലമായ ത്രോയിൻ വരുന്നു. ഛാപ്പയിലേക്ക് കട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. ലെൻഡുങ്കലാണ് അവിടെ ആ ഒരു ഷീൽഡിന് വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിക്കുന്നത്. എന്തായാലും ഇത്രയും ഈ തുടങ്ങി 5 മിനിറ്റ് ആകുന്നതേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ തന്നെ ജംഷഡ്പൂർ എഫ് സിയുടെ ഒരുപാട് ആക്രമണങ്ങളും ബിൽഡപ്പുകളും നമ്മൾ കണ്ടു. ഇപ്പോഴാണ് ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു ബ്രീത്തിങ് സ്പേസ് ചെന്നൈയിൻ എഫ് സിക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത്. റുസിദാർ റബാൻഡോവിച്ച് ബുരിറാം യുണൈറ്റഡിനൊപ്പം തായ് ലീഗിലെ പരിശീലന പരിചയമൊക്കെയുള്ള താരമാണ്. കോർണർ വരികയാണ്, ഒരു ടാപ്പ് റെഡിയാകുന്നു. മുർസേബിനെ കാണാം. ഹൈ കോർണർ കൃത്യമായി പോസ്റ്റിലേക്ക്, നല്ലൊരു കോണ്ടാക്ട് ഇവിടെ കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ വേണ്ടി കഴിയുന്നില്ല. പക്ഷെ
ഇന്നും ഒരു പാരലൽ
It looks like Sajid, I think, has come up there from the back. He's got a little touch on it. Did Mirzayev get a little touch before? I'm not too sure. Either way, it was a great ball in from Tapa. So energetic in this Chennai inside, so important.
This player here, Sajid Dot, he couldn't get a look in at Odisha. The manager didn't want him, so he didn't get involved there. He played a few games last season, but it's good to see him go. They let him go in pre-season, so...
Yeah, and by all accounts, Andy, he's gone on trial with Chennai and done really well and earned himself a contract and thrown straight into the deep end. So a good start from him.
Absolutely. 23 appearances for Sajid Dot. 13 of those with the Delhi Dynamos, so he's accustomed to the pressures of the Hero Indian Super League, but it's always a big call for a coach to bring a defender straight into such a crucial game.
Well, on the balance, Andy, with Chennai, in the way that they've gone about their business this season, only having one foreign defender. I know Ariel Borisek, he's not really a central defender, but he's played there a little bit. And they've got a lot of good attacking options. So to have another good Indian defender is a smart move.
He might be called into action. He is. It's an easy ball inside to Jermanpreet, and Koeman is a real playmaker for this Chennai inside. The former Hungarian international looks to deliver to another import, and as he does time and time again, Hartley is the man on the spot.
Just having a look at Gikiewicz early on here. He's possibly on borrowed time, shall we say. Could be one of his last starts of the season. I mean, you never know what happens in the Hero Indian Super League, but when you've got a guy like Nereus Vauskas sitting there waiting in the wings, jumping across from Jamshedpur, you'd like to think he'll be starting the next game.
Don't forget Chunte on the bench as well. A player who scored more goals amongst the Indian midfielders. Jerry, Tapa, he'll claim that. Who might claim it as a nutmeg on Stewart. It's a difficult ball, isn't it? Jerry was tracking down the left channel. His 6th season for Jerry, and Anirudh Tapa, he's been here now 6 years as well and started every game as he has done, just subbed once. Just integral part of the setup. As I said about December, it was after winning the opening 2 games, we were all wondering what had gone wrong for Chennai. As Stewart lifts it over the top for Murray. It's not a clean header from Demjanovic. Murray. Lendungo. Stewart. Such a sweet left foot. Ricky. Alex Lima. There are numbers inside now. They're aiming for Murray. Stewart could be on. He's got a magic wand. But over the top.
I think we're all expecting him to hit this with his right foot, Andy, but he's taken the time to put it onto his left foot. It's a great little build-up again from Jamshedpur. It's a great ball in from Dinliana, and he thought Stewart was going to pull the trigger. puts it onto that left peg and sends an alarming left-footed shot over the bar.
Good form coming in for Owen Coyle. There was that blimp, you could say, when they shifted 4 goals against Mumbai City at Fatorda and lost 4-2. And the other notable part of this game here, the Blasters have had, I should say, Jamshedpur have had an extra 4 days to prepare. They played on Boxing Day, and Chennai finished the year on the 30th of December at Tilak with a 4-2 loss against Bengaluru.
That's not an easy thing, especially when you're having the short turnaround over New Year's. You know, I doubt the boys would have been out there celebrating, but it's all the other stuff that goes on in the hotels or in the surrounding areas with fireworks. You don't get that good sleep, and you're training on New Year's Day, you're training on New Year's Eve. It's a mental battle, but sometimes it can galvanise the team and bring everyone together. And if you're going to train on New Year's Day, you want to get a result.
Absolutely. It's a big break, though. Good advantage to have. Narendra will go beyond Boris. Boris seeing his 3rd start here today. Has an assist to his name. Jerry. Chennai have settled in well now after the first 5 or so minutes where Jamshedpur looked threatening on 3 occasions. That's a dangerous ball as Murray was trying to close in on Damjanovic. Great closing down work from Musayev, the man from Kyrgyzstan. Time inside for Jitendra, but they turn it over. He's done well to keep control and find Koeman, and the overlap is on, but that delivery invitingly back to him. Is it too deep for Tapa? It is. He's tried his best. That's near impossible to pull down.
Yeah, this is a little bit too much on that one for Tapa, who's showing a lot of final third entries, which is exciting for Chennai because Tapa's not that type of player just to sit in the middle of the park and do a job as a number 8. He's up and down the pitch, he's getting in the box, he's at the far post, he's just everywhere, and that gives him the best possible chance to get himself on the score sheet, to make assists. You know, we saw earlier in the season he made a great run for a goal at the Fatorda, and that's exactly what he's trying to do again tonight.
Only one keeper in action so far, the newly promoted Debjit. What an opportunity it is. The 33-year-old veteran has 10 clean sheets to his name in 44 games. Has played with East Bengal and Mumbai and ATK, where they won the title in 2016. Excellent steal. Musayev, one touch, hoping to get the return, but Narendra says, I'm cleaning up at the back here for Jamshedpur.
That's the difficulty sometimes, Andy, when this 3-5-2 formation that Chennai have, if they're back in their defensive shape and they win the ball back, it takes too long to get numbers 4. And with a back 4 that Jamshedpur have, you know, they're literally marking 2 players and waiting for Chennai to come at them, but they need to get numbers forward quickly, Chennai, if they're trying to score a goal, because that 3-5-2, the wide guys are so important. Jerry needs to get further forward.
There is the man you're talking about, Jerry. He's made life, well, it looked like it might be slightly uncomfortable for the cultured Slavko Damjanovic. In Liana, keeper's there if he needs him. It's dangerous, it's got to be cleared. Tupper, forceful header on, delicate little touch. The Hungarian was trying to set up the man from Kyrgyzstan. Ricky. Murray. With Murray on that side of the pitch, Stewart's assumed the central striking role for the moment. Just the fluency going astray here for the Men of Steel. Marina Machins working their way back in the game, the two-time champions. Nariandas, it's way too strong, and that's why Gigovic, the Pole's got his hands up. Delicate ball from Ricky. Cleaning up. Boris Singh joined the club last January. He's had 3 appearances last season, but already this is appearance number 9, so he's settled into life at Jamshedpur very well. It's too strong for the Scotsman. Hartley. Excellent skills. Tremendous work from Ricky to set this play up, and he gets the ball back. He's got Alex Lind behind, but he's got the throw in. He's taking it quickly for Stewart. Stewart trying to pull it back in. The ball was out, I think. Could be a goal kick. Looking at the assistant referee, he signals the ball was out. Stewart's not happy. He didn't think the whole ball was.
Yeah, you can see Jamshedpur have been definitely working on their throw-ins. We saw Greg Stewart score from a very similar position before at the start of the season, and it looked as though that was going to go out for a corner because he did well to shield the ball. The linesman hasn't got a great angle of it on the far side. Neither does the referee. He's going to go and speak to Greg Stewart just to calm down because it's a very difficult one to call.
There's so many superlatives about this player, Eric Pardaloo. I mean, you know, when you look at the imports, and there are some amazing ones and some amazing goals. We saw one from Luna tonight, breathtaking. Murray will be the keepers, but you know, Jordan's got some serious work to do. He needs to get amongst the goals. Janovic has been an ever-present in this defence, but that man, Greg Stewart, incredible talent, one of the best players I've ever seen come to the Hero Indian Super League.
Well, you'd say his free kick against the Blasters is probably the goal of the season, but I think Luna's maybe eclipsed that.
I'm with you on that. I'm sensing he might have. Mate.
I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that high and come back down and go in the top corner. It was just outstanding.
Started in a confident fashion, but they've got to provide him some serious service. The next game's for Jamshedpur. It's a busy start to the new year. Northeast, East Bengal, Hyderabad to come. All those games here in Bambolim, where they are unbeaten in 8. Alex Lima, bit of a miscued pass, but still gets the desired outcome. German comes in on Lima, but this time coming back to help is Coleman. This is only the second time we've had a chance to look at Chennai up close. Tupper. He's too strong. Lukash. It's a big challenge from Denliana. Lack of control momentarily there from Jitendra, but he's thankful for the support behind. Now Stewart. It's not really going to trouble Debjit.
that movement from Stewart again, Andy. He's just so difficult to mark if you're a midfielder. You don't know where he's going to go. If he's going to stay centrally or he's going to drag you all the way out to the touchline. And as a midfielder, Germanpreet's got a big job tonight to try and distinguish whether I go out with him or do I let him go. And either way, he seems to pick up the ball and find space all the time.
Just over 20 minutes of the game, and just in case you've just tuned in, the earlier fixture in our blockbuster doubleheader, Kerala and Goa played out a thrilling 2-2 draw. All the goals scored in the first half, all of them unique, 2 of them extra special. But what it's done to the table, it's got Kerala now on 14 points ahead of ATK Mohanbagan on goal difference. And above them are Hyderabad and Mumbai, so it squeezes Jamshedpur out of the top 4. And for Chennai, they're on 11 points. And they could also join ATK Mohanbagan and the Blasters on 14 if they get a much needed win. Stewart, Germanpreet was right onto him. Stewart's trying to help his defence now, and there's a foul, and it might be a booking. I mentioned earlier, Pranjal Banerjee has already handed out 18 yellows and 3 reds in 5 games this season. So the first booking of the game.
Bit sloppy from Jamshedpur and Greg Stewart there, and Mirzayev takes off. Stewart tries to get him, and Narendra Gullett makes sure he doesn't go any further. It's a meaty challenge in the upper leg. And the yellow card for Narendra Gullett. He's got to be careful now.
That's also his 3rd booking of the campaign, so if he gets booked in the next game, he'll be suspended for the following. 4 yellows is an automatic 1-game suspension. Now from distance, we've seen some special goals, but you know what? You don't blame him for having the try there.
Well, you watch the ball move here. If he got this on target, I think it would have really tested TP Ranesh. There's a little bit of conjecture earlier about the new match ball this year, and maybe it's the cause of some of these goals that we're seeing, and Mirzayev can hit them. And some of these free kicks we're seeing, and even corners going in directly, so everyone's thinking, why not? I'll give it a go.
Well, Mirzayev's got a hat-trick to his name, not at club level but international level for his country. A hat-trick in a World Cup qualifier this campaign against Myanmar. And that's the other part of the equation when we move into this is a real business part of the campaign, and January transfer window, particularly for the foreign players, on notice in so many ways. If they're not delivering consistently, as we've already seen, Valskas going back to Chennai.
Yeah, quite a strange move, really. You'd think that you're playing under a manager who's played nearly 700 games in his career as a striker. He's got some of the best statistics in the Hero Indian Super League with the 2 teams he's coached.
Stewart's waiting, the flag's up. Was there a little nudge or offside? It's one of the other, or could it have been both? I just sensed Greg just had a little push here. Just have a good look at this.
Yeah, he's trying to peel away at the far post, and there's a little nudge.
Just a nudge.
Little nudge on Narayan Das, and he was offside in any case, but they're lining up at the far post there, and communication could have been better between Damjanovic and Narayan Das, but yeah, this man, he's dangerous, and every time the ball goes forward, Jamshedpur are looking to him.
And the 12th man, Amit. Hope you're enjoying what's on show here tonight in the Hero Indian Super League. Match 47. We had more goals earlier in Vasco, and no goals here as yet. It's a delicate ball, but it's intercepted very well. It's quality work. Regan Singh. Lukash Gigovic, he's clipped. Alex Lima, the culprit.
Jamshedpur doing a good job of breaking things up in the middle of the park. That's the number 9 getting the ball at the halfway line. Not going to trouble too many people from there.
Tupper, he was onside, and thankfully for Jamshedpur, Narendra Galot blocks that cross inside. He was kept on. It was a perfect ball.
Yeah, they get caught out there, Jamshedpur, and it's that man again. Tupper making a little break forward, and Narendra Galot puts the afterburners on, and he needed to. As Chennai were in there.
It's another set piece danger, and if Anirudh Tupper can get another assist, he will be on top of the assists for his club. Krivellaro and him have 9 assists. It's sad that we didn't get a chance to see Rafael Krivellaro this season. That's why Vauskas has returned to his former club. He's watching in the stand tonight. Jerry, double tagged, and manages to find Germanpreet. It's a great ball in, it's too deep, but applauded. The two foreigners linking, the Hungarian was trying to find his man inside. It was a good build-up. I'm almost sensing Chennai are improving as the game go on.
Yeah, they're getting confidence, Andy, from playing through the lines here, playing little 1-2s, and that ball over the top from Jerry, you can see him looking for Gikiewicz every single time, trying to hit his chest and letting Vladimir Koeman try and run off Mirzaev. They've got some skillful players up front.
That was a brilliant jump by Lukasz Gikiewicz, and he's kept it in. Mirzaev's tracked down the left. Good delivery. Oh, he's going with the outstep of the right.
Well, unfortunately for Chennai, it was a great little move, give and go from Koeman. And Mirzaev gets inside there, but just bobbles at the wrong moment. He won't want to see that one again, but he should have used his left foot.
Again, they're breaching this defence. They're getting in behind or over the top, and that will certainly please Boskal, or Bozidar Bandovic, affectionately known as Boskal. That's the table as it stands right now.
It's stacked, look at that.
It's incredible. But you know, Chennai win, look where they get propelled up. Set piece now for the home side, who out of their 14 goals had scored 8 times in the first half. It's too direct, straight into the grateful arms of Debjit. Quality from Tupper to chest down. They're looking strong on the ball. No deflection. The ever-present Jerry, match 84. Zayev surrounded by Jamshedpur players, and Len Dundal in a physical challenge here against his countryman, deemed to have fouled. There's been some battles between those two players over the years.
It was a brilliant little battle, a bit of kabaddi here, putting their bodies on the line, knees and elbows and hips going everywhere. It was fair up until about that point there, where Jerry was put onto the ground. But I love to see this with players having a go, trying to wrestle for the ball and see what it means to them. To the 30th minute of the game here.
No clear chances as yet. Narayan. Free kick in a very imposing position. Jerry was almost asking, play quickly to me. He would have been on his way down the left channel.
Yeah, some of the hold-up play from Chennai has been excellent tonight. Just to try and buy themselves that time to get more players forward. If they can get those 3 or 4 seconds, Andy, then it gets more people up the pitch. And Jerry is looking for that overlap.
It's a great delivery. It's a free header and it's a goal. That is a breakthrough goal and a tremendous set piece. And the player that you questioned earlier, Eric Parneloo, Lukas Gigovic, gets on the scoreboard for the very first time in the Hero Indian Super League.
Well, what a time to score from Lukas Gigovic. They're having a look at this, Andy. I'm not too sure what's happening. They're going to go for a water break. But here's the goal again. Nobody's picking it up at the back post, and it's an easy header. Just to head it down. It's great delivery from Vladimir Koeman. And Gigovic has scored them his whole career. He's not missing from 6 yards. And Chennai take the lead.
They had been threatening. A question asked of the keeper. TP Ranesh, should he have come? Delight for Chennai. The game was promising this outcome, and the poll has delivered.
The long hours, the late nights, smashing all records, breaking every boundary. Go beyond limits. Fueled by Herbalife Nutrition.
You're a problem, a good problem to have. You can't say the Chennai don't deserve that, Andy. They've been prodding, putting those balls over the top into the box. And funnily enough, it's come from a set piece again. I think Jamshedpur, the marking was poor. No one's even close to him. Narendra Gahlot knows he should have been a little bit tighter. And the delivery from Koeman's just world class. Talk about that great goal we saw earlier. That ball, great whip and dip. And the big pole's not missing from there.
Well, that's his 8th attempt on goal, and it's delivered the perfect outcome. It's a goal to his name and also an assist. Len Dungle's ball's very deep for Boris. Was he nudged slightly? And Pranjal Banerjee says he was. We get to see how Jamshedpur react here now, because they started the more stronger of the two sides. Chennai took time to get into their groove, and once they did, they got the set piece.
Well, it's a nothing ball really in the end. You just got to defend your lines, and it's a little bit harsh on Regan, but didn't need to go towards the player because the ball was going to go out anyway. And Boris just did a little nudge and get in front of his marker and went down at the right time, it has to be said.
9 goals from set pieces this campaign from Jamshedpur, but that's a bit of a flat delivery. And Stewart can't get up there. It's a rare sight. We're so accustomed to Stewart just being on his game. Zaki jumping for joy, no doubt, watching on at home. Good start for your team. Then Dungle's up top at the moment, and Damjanovic is right next to him. A big difference in height and build.
Yeah, solid defending. Just put his body in there, knew exactly what he was going to do. Shooting the ball out for a goal kick. You can see that movement from Jamshedpur. They're trying to get one player to go long and one to go short. And Jordan Murray just asking for that ball a little bit earlier. We need to see him stay a little bit more central and allow Stewart just to come in behind and pick up those loose pieces and get across that front post. That's the only job he's got to do tonight, Jordan Murray. stay in the box, stay alive.
Looking for the goal scorer, but this time Glenn got up. They still have possession. Jerry, no one inside. There's absolutely no one inside, and TP Rayanesh spills a cross that you thought he'd take cleanly. Maybe conceding that goal affects the keeper's confidence as well.
It certainly does. What a great run from Jerry, just to use all his strength. You thought maybe don't pull the trigger and get the cross in and come out and keep possession, but in the end the goalkeeper spilled it, and Gigovic has pushed Narendra into the goalkeeper, but an interesting save nonetheless.
A lot of goals have come at this time of the game for the home side. Narendra just composed for Hartley. Stewart. The goal scorer is there, and the man who set it up, Coman, plays it across to the other foreigner, Mirsayev. There's some space. You've got to applaud the way the captain's playing tonight. He's covered a lot of ground. We'll get to see a heat map, no doubt, at some stage tonight of Anurup Thapa. Seems to be everywhere tonight. Lendungal heading in ahead of the goal scorer, Stewart. Germanpreet ahead of him. Murray trying to shake his marker. It's too deep for Murray.
It still amazes me how he gets across him every single time. You know, the players don't want to get too close to him because he's got that option of going left or right, and he's got tricky feet. But no doubt, Owen Coyle, he's thinking, what do we need to do to score a goal here? Because, you know, Stewart's getting those balls across the face of goal, getting him into the box, but there's nobody in there throwing themselves at it at the moment for Jamshedpur.
Ricky. Cross for Boris. Jitendra's close, but they're trying to feed it inside for Murray. Alex Lima. Again, that passage to goal is blocked. Credit to Regan. And that dummy doesn't come off. You've got to try something different now and again, and that's what Greg Stewart was hoping for. Boris Singh. Len's got Stewart inside. Germanpreet did all the great work there, and as a result, there's an overlap on here for Jerry. Dangerous ball. The keeper just tips it on. That is the threat that Chennai can present you.
It was a lovely little counter-attacking move, and Jerry does ever so well to look up for Gigovic, who was in the box. And it's a very, very important header from Dinliana, because from our angle that was going to go straight to the far post, and the big pole was waiting, and they force a corner.
The captain comes across, the 23-year-old. He's only been subbed once this season. It's a dangerous ball, and TP doesn't meet it cleanly, and shielded out by the goal scorer to give them the other set-piece option on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, the pressure's building, but it's a strong hand from Rayanesh. We've seen a lot of goalkeepers the last couple of days try and catch those or miss them altogether, so any contact will do.
clear way. Anirudh Thapa. Murray was the man back there helping his Jamshedpur defence, and Stuart Murray's onside, but there are a few Chennaiyin defenders in close proximity of the Australian as a result of that. Stuart just plays it safe. Lima, will he get the return? Morris trying to create something. He might have got a corner, he has. So from one end to the other, credit to Jamshedpur.
It's end-to-end action, Andy, and Morris does well to force the corner. Didn't panic when he got closed down, and wins his side a corner, and that man Stewart again.
It's another set piece, and it's another threat for Chennaiyin. Whenever Hartley's in there, Murray to Narendra coming to the near post. It's dangerous, it goes beyond Narendra. It's an excellent clearance under pressure.
Absolutely vital, that clearance from Sajid there. Brilliant, getting across his marker and clearing out for throw-in as well.
Every Chennaiyin player was behind the ball, and as a consequence, it's an easy header back by Hartley. Don't forget, off the field, the EISL is up and running. It's been a revelation in the 2021-22 season. It's on YouTube and Facebook. Click in, have a look, enjoy. It's got the commentary, it's got all the action, all the drama. Narendra. Ricky has to leave it for Boris. Still in play, the Brazilian. Stewart. It's too hard for Murray. He was stretching. Well, that's deflected back off Damjanovic, so they've got the corner. Just a couple of minutes remain in this first half, and
that's quite unusual.
I've never seen Damjanovic make a mistake like that.
Could be costly,
particularly with this man taking it. It's dangerous. It's a great ball in for Len Dungal. He was the man attacking the corner. And that ball was out, unfortunately. But Chennaiyin, they have to do the work now. Hartley composed, and breaking away on the left is Ricky, and closest to him is Lima. Tomorrow night do join us, Odisha against Mumbai City. Coverage starts at 7. The league leaders face a test. No test there for Devjit. In the starting 11 tonight, ahead of Vishal Kate. First time Vishal in his career with the club has been on the bench. He played every minute of football up until tonight in the previous 2 campaigns. So right now, the only man that's played every minute of football is Damjanovic. Although Regan, Tupper, Narayan and Coleman have started every game but been subbed. So he's made 3 changes, and you look at the scoreboard and you say, you know what, validation.
Absolutely. If it stays this way, they win the game. So I think Chennaiyin can see the way that they're playing this game. They're really trying to see this game out.
Stewart to Murray. Murray's trying to get it for Stewart, who miscues. It looked like a perfectly weighted cross.
I think he gets his wires crossed down. He maybe should have controlled it or used his right foot, but it was certainly the wrong option for Greg Stewart. He's been doing a lot of work, and this probably is the reason why he doesn't hit the target. Jordan Murray does so well to stand it up, and it's a complete miscue from Greg Stewart. He knows it's a glorious opportunity. You expect him to hit the target with that left foot.
2 minutes to be added on. That was a great opportunity.
And as I was saying before, I think Chennai, that they really looked that last 5 minutes of the half just to sort of close it out, and we're not pushing too far up. So to get an opportunity like that, and again,
Stewart to Dungle, he goes low and hard, and Debjit is down quickly. The pressing, desperate for the equaliser before the break, and Stewart, the architect, in the middle of the park.
Well, the movement was great too. Murray was an option on the left-hand side, but Stewart decides to put Lendungle into action, and Debjit comes up with a big save, although it's straight at him. I'll be grateful to see that one go into the hands of the goalkeeper. Tupper's caught a stray elbow, I think, from Alex Lee. There wasn't too much in it, but it's got him in a soft place. That's a sore one across the throat. Sometimes as players, you get taught to put your elbows up to protect yourself, but if you're a bigger player or a taller player, it's so difficult for the smaller guys.
That's what I like to see. Alex Lehmann just coming and checking on Anirudh Thapa and saying, look, I was eyes on the ball. There was no malice. There was no intent. He's had a standout game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been everywhere. He just makes those forward runs that makes Chennai tick, and they need to get more players into the box. And he's one of those go-to guys for Chennai.
Totally miscued by Len. He came in tonight in the only change for Jamshedpur. So Owen Coyle will certainly be having a chat to his defence about that set-piece goal they conceded to Bosco's side. The first half where Chennai were on the back foot early on, but that man, Lukash Dekovic, on the end of the Coleman free kick. 31 minutes into the game. Stewart's been busy. He's been threatening. But they haven't had the clear-cut chances we normally expect. Half-time, Jamshedpur 0, Chennai 1.
जिंदगी हो या कबड्डी, भिड़ना है जरूर। 2 साल बाद लौट के आ रहा है वही पंगा और वही
वीवो प्रो कबड्डी हर शाम 7:30 बजे सिर्फ स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और डिज्नी प्लस हॉटस्टार पर।
ये हम चले। कहो तो वापस चले?
ना, मुझे बड़ा मजा आ रहा है।
He wants me to go behind Hiran, and when the Maidan is up, he will come, uthav you and run away. But let me tell you, the Ramayana has just begun.
मेरा परिवार मेरी कमजोरी है और मेरी ताकत भी।
आर्या सीजन 2 डिज्नी प्लस हॉटस्टार पर।
भाई शुरू करें। ऑडियो एकदम कड़क, खड़े अपन सड़क, लड़की दिखी नहीं दिल धड़क धड़क।
डायलॉग बाजी बंद करो और बिजली का बिल भरो।
ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है।
जाइए जाइए, उन्हीं के साथ बैठ जाइए। ये तुम और निक
ये तो वो नोट है जो मैंने लिखा है, ये मैं हूँ।
कुछ नया देखने को मिलेगा उधर।
So Kate is helping you with an Avengers level threat? He's my partner.
It's kind of a stretch.
You want to be a superhero? You put your life in danger.
There's also the cool costumes, some trick arrows.
Some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
Are you one of those people?
तुम खा गए इस स्टेज को। आई थिंक दिस इज द मोस्ट एंटरटेनिंग 2-3 minutes of my life.
I am Boba Fett, left for dead on the sands of Tatooine. Jabba ruled with fear.
Welcome back to Bamberlin, where Chennai leads Jamshedpur by 1-0. Lukas Gigovic with his first goal of the season after 31 minutes. Koeman with his first assist of the season. And it means that Chennai are up to 5th in the live league table, level on points with ATK Mohun Bagan. They've only had one shot on target, have Chennai, up against the Jamshedpur side, who have dominated in terms of possession, shots and shots on target. Happy New Year, everyone. It's the second of a double header. Earlier we saw FC Goa up against Kerala Blasters. 2-2 is how that finished. The goal of the season contender from Adrian Luna as well. Two contenders who are with me tonight. Welcome, boys. Eric and Prad. What do you make of that? A bit scrappy?
Definitely a bit scrappy. I mean, not scrappy as the different kind of scrappy than the first game we saw today, but you expected this. He's made a couple of changes, the Chennai's coach, and you know, it's interesting because someone questioned, is he going to change the tactics after that? They're conceding 4 against Bengaluru. But what he's done smartly is keep the same system that they've been playing, but effect changes. Maybe there was complacency setting in. He's changed the goalkeeper. He's brought in a new player into the back row, and he's made some changes. And, you know, it's worked. You got a guy who hasn't scored all season suddenly scoring. Maybe the pressure of Nerka Valskis coming in has suddenly woken up the Polish striker and said, I better score here, otherwise maybe I'm on the way out, or I'm not going to see much game time. So those little intelligent tweaks that the coach has made with the psychology of the players, it's paying dividend at the moment.
It feels like a game of two tacticians, this one, Eric.
Yeah, it's what you'd expect. I think, you know, off the back of both teams having 2 draws and 2 losses, it's, you know, a game they can't afford to lose. Being in that mid-table now, they know if they can get the 3 points, they jump into that top 4 spot and really, you know, push on from there. And I think the game's edgy. They don't want to make too many mistakes. Chennai have that good shape, that good formation. But Jamshedpur have asked a lot of questions late on especially. So if Jordan Murray can get across that front post a bit more often, I think Jamshedpur have got a good chance.
Let's review that first half action. Talking of mistakes, Eric, as well, because Jamshedpur don't usually do this. To the 31st minute and a free header.
Yeah, it's poor marking, I think. I think it's Narendra Gala at the far post. I'm not too sure if they're set up in a zone, but you know, when you're keeping that line, you want to keep them as high as possible. I dare say that Jamshedpur should have started on the 18-yard line, and they dropped really early. Narendra Gala's just lost his man, and you know, Gigovic won't score, you know, an easier goal this season. But for me, you know, a team like Jamshedpur with a coach that's from the UK who pride themselves on set pieces, Brad, they'll be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, you'd be disappointed. I mean, it was a good free kick. You got to give credit over there. It was like whipped in a sort of area where, you know, you sometimes ask questions. If it's inside the 6-yard box, hit from that, could the keeper have come? Could he have done more? You know, you always, I mean, we've saw in the previous game, you want your keepers to be a little bit more commanding in and around the 6-yard box. And again, defenders as well. Look, Narendra Gala, I don't think that's a mismatch because obviously Hartley's got to go with someone. He's gone with Damjanovic. So this is where Narendra Gala, if you're going to play as an half, you have to do a lot better there with the striker. He doesn't even jump over there. Even if at least he jumps, he might put the player off, and he just lets him have the free header, and you can't give free headers in the 6-yard box, even for someone who's not on form. That's the easiest way to get back on form in a way.
It was a Jamshedpur side that got off to a great start in terms of chances. Len Dungal should have gone close early on, should have scored.
Yeah, I think he knows he probably should take this one. You know, it's a great ball across the front of goal, but you know, Stewart, you know, Ricky from those sort of areas. Boris is getting a few balls across the box, but Stewart's been lively, but it's a one-man team at the moment. This is the one where I think Len Dungal probably should have hit this first time, and he takes 2 touches in the box. Pretty silly option.
I think he's just got to get over that ball. And this is the thing. At the moment, if you look at the chances they're falling, at this stage, you just thought there's only going to be one way. It's going to be Jamshedpur getting it through, but they just couldn't get. And that final ball was just lacking. Len, whether there was another chance where he had where it was a shot, he just went straight to keeper. The decision making in the final third isn't there. And I think I like what Eric was saying about that. When you're playing as a number 9, Jordan Murray, you've got to almost be that focal point for them. He tends to drift out wide too often, and maybe because you're playing against a 3, it's tempting because the spaces are there. But if everyone's drifting into those wide areas, Len's already there, Stewart's going over there, and if Murray goes over there, when they get the ball, there's not enough options in the middle to hit over there. So I think they need a bit more of a focus in the middle.
If I can add to that, you've got a new goalkeeper in between the sticks. Nobody's really tested him. If that was me or a striker, you'd be thinking, just put one on target, hit one in front of him, make him work, because he's not had much to do. And surely he's, a bit scared about his first opportunity tonight. So, for Jamshedpur, they need to hit the target.
What's wrong with Stewart tonight?
Well, I think, look, now when you've done so much in the league, you're going to be a marked man. There's going to be a lot more attention on you. So he's having to drift into wider positions. He's picking up some very, very clever positions to get on the ball, but he's not going to get as much space in and around the box, although he did get one glorious chance. And I think, he's raised the bar so much now with the expectations that you expect him now every time to produce some kind of magic. I mean, these are great balls that he's whipping in there. They could have done better. And I think there's one chance which landed on his left foot. And because it's Stewart and because of what he's done, you think, all right, he's going to chop back on his left foot, place this in the top corner over there. And because of his standards, you're saying, he's got to do better than that. But, that's a tough chance. And, he's done reasonably well there.
He's overused in this team. Let's be clear about that. He's the only creative spark that Jamshedpur have at the moment. Alex Lima steps in and passes and moves, but Stewart picks up this ball in different areas, and he needs to have someone else to play off. Doesn't have Valskis. Jordan Murray's maybe not at that level, but, Stewart maybe needs to take this by the scruff of the neck now and just go, I'm going to have a shot and just try and test the keeper.
It's been half chances really for Chennai so far in this first half, but their game plan in the second, presumably, just to sit back and absorb?
Well, if you look at the start of the season, this Chennaiyin team, the way they've been drilled is to sit back, we'll win 1-0, and they're very good at doing that. And it wasn't working in a while where they were struggling to score, but they were very good defensively. Then they had to switch to this back 3. Once they've gone into this back 3, Eric mentioned the point on comms where they struggle to get numbers forward. But now with a goal lead, they don't really need to worry about that goal, getting the goal to get a second one to kill it off. And because they've got the likes of Gikiewicz and Midland, they can hit teams on the counter-attack. They've got someone who can hold the ball up as well. So I think it's actually perfectly suited for the way they're designed to play.
Sometimes you need a first half like that so the coaches can go in, shuffle a few things, and the second half just lights up.
This is great for Bandovic. I think he's loving the being 1-0 half-time, second half. We'll lock it up. Let's see what we can do in the second half. Maybe get that second goal. But 1-0 Chennai, and this is their blueprint. So, I expect Jamshedpur to make a few changes and try and come back in this game, as they will. But, Chennai in 8 games, only 8 goals.
Looking forward to the second half. Stay with us, everybody.
The long hours, the late nights, smashing all records, bringing every boundary, go beyond limits. Fueled by Herbalife Nutrition.
जिंदगी हो या कबड्डी, भिड़ना है जरूर। 2 साल बाद लौट के आ रहा है वही पंगा और वही
वीवो प्रो कबड्डी हर शाम 7:30 बजे सिर्फ स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और डिज्नी प्लस हॉटस्टार पर।
He wants me to go behind Hiran, and when the Maidan is up, he will come, uthaw you and run away. But let me tell you, the Ramayana has just begun.
पेश करता हूँ ठाकुर परिवार। हर एक का अलग अलग मिजाज और हर एक का अनोखा अंदाज। 80 के दशक की एक दिल बहला देने वाली कहानी।
सुदेव जानी ठाकुर, will you be my Bobby?
हॉटस्टार स्पेशल्स प्रस्तुत करते हैं दिल बेकरार, only on Disney Plus Hotstar.
For 29 years, a first Test Series win in South Africa has eluded us. After such a long wait, can Team India quench their first cut thirst? Believe in blue as India chase history in South Africa.
ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं मजाक है हिम्मत सिंह।
I suspend myself, sir.
I am Boba Fett. Left for dead on the sands of Tatooine. Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
भाई शुरू करें। ऑडियो एकदम कड़क, खड़े अपन सड़क।
डायलॉग बाजी बंद करो और बिजली का बिल भरो। जाइए जाइए, उन्हीं के साथ बैठ जाइए।
मैंने आज तक ऐसा एक्ट नहीं देखा। आप लोगों के लिए बनता है यार।
भाई शुरू करें। ऑडियो एकदम कड़क, खड़े अपन सड़क।
डायलॉग
So Ritwik Das is set to come into the game, replacing Lendungal, the player who actually replaced him in the starting lineup. And Ritwik only signed a one-year deal in late October, a late signing by Owen Coyle, formerly of the Kerala Blasters, 4 appearances last season. Had a very, very good run with Real Kashmir. Hartley gets his troops together. They've got to turn their game right around. And straight away the ice pack is the next port of call for Lendungal. This was a moment for Len in the first half. Eric Pavler suggested he might have been better off hitting it first time, but that's been a rare sight today from Jamshedpur. Their attempts have been ineffective in so many ways, but when they've had an attempt on goal, Debjit, who's replaced Vishal Kate for Chennai, has done the job, as this man has done the job. His goal in the 31st minute splits these sides tonight. It's just such a crucial match in terms of the top 4. It's banked up. It is so banked up at the moment. But if Chennai hold on, they'll move on to 14 points with Kerala and ATK Mohun Bagan 1 point behind Hyderabad and 2 behind the champions Mumbai City FC. And straight away they're into the action, but that delivery is well intercepted. Stewart, inch perfect pass for Ricky. Ricky's got Boris Singh closest to him. And Boris is still in possession. Ricky's ball goes beyond Anirudh Thapa. Stewart's hovering at the edge of the box. It's back with the Scotsman. The captain Thapa on his heels. Dangerous ball dealt with by Damjanovic. Perfect first touch from Jitendra. Onside is Stewart. Curling it inside. It's the body of Damjanovic. Germanpreet just gives it straight back to Ricky. It's a positive starters. The run in behind, and thankfully the new kid on the block in so many ways, the new siding, Sajid Dot, cleans up in the back for Chennai.
Well, they're going to have to get closer to Greg Stewart, just giving too much time to pick passes in that final third. And Chennai will do well to hold out here. They've got all the men behind the ball.
Lima to Ricky. Hartley. Too strong, way too strong from the Englishman. Played 53 times in the Scottish Premiership with Motherwell. Obviously that niggle for Len forced Owen Coyle's hand.
Yeah, it looked like a niggle, but I think I could see by his body language and the way he was talking on the bench, he didn't look too happy that he'd come off. I'd like to know the full extent, but it'd take a lot more than that to keep Len Dongle out.
He's the sort of player that will bash through brick walls for you. Ricky, mistake, and a foul, and a booking perhaps. Yes, Pranjal Banerjee.
Well, it's very similar to the way they conceded the goal in the first half, in a dangerous position, and it's a needless free kick. It's a poor first touch from Ricky, and he's absolutely clobbered Gikiewicz. We've got a yellow card for his troubles, but it's Vladimir Koeman again, looking to deliver this one right into the box. And all the big men are up for Chennaiyin.
Vladimir Koeman, who's played 45 times in Serie A with the likes of Sampdoria and Bari, also got the silver shoe at the World Youth Cup of 2009. 5 goals, Hungary finishing third in that tournament. And played over 30 times at senior level. A crucial signing by Bosco. Set piece threat again. It's a little bit too low. And Arutapa cleaning up again. That's a dangerous ball. And the goal scorer was double teamed. Stewart sending Boris on a run. More urgency in this second half from Jamshedpur.
It's a great ball from Tapa, but what about the defending here from the 2 men at the back for Jamshedpur? Giving Gikiewicz no option and no space and no time. Narendra Gala doing ever so well alongside Peter Hartley this year. It's great to see him have such a big role.
Absolutely, Eric Pardew. Germanpreet made one error early in that second half when he turned the ball over. Narendra at the second attempt. Coolly done by Germanpreet. Stewart tried to intercept Damjanovic. Square is Germanpreet. Tapa. Great touch. Alex Lima. Boris has to track in ahead of Regan. And again Stewart with a great delivery for Ricky. He's played every minute of football this season. Stewart. Again, just the service from the Scotsman falling slightly flat. Tapa's ball, dangerous. Stewart's hovering. Stewart at the edge of the area. No foul, says the ref. And it's a miscued attempt from the sub.
Yeah, Greg Stewart looking a little bit flat here in this second half. He's doing so much work off the ball. And by the time he gets into these positions, he's just a little bit too tired, a bit too fatigued. But it's a great little slide tackle from Damjanovic. The danger was averted. Great sliding touch. Great visual. And it's great defending from Damjanovic. Needed to make that challenge.
Well, somehow the goal scorer totally missed that one. In Liana playing against his old club. Jitendra. Inside by Ritwik. Stewart finding Murray. Lima. The left side has been working overtime in the second half, but Jerry's ball does not get to Boris. Lukacs inside. Good ball by Regan. Musayev totally miscued. Great turn inside by Ritwik Das. Alex Lima. That's much more promising in the second half from the men of steel. Stewart. A real playmaker. His delivery might have deflected back off him. It is. It's just not happening for the Scotsman at the moment, but he can turn a game around very quickly.
Yeah, it's just a confidence thing. I think he looked up and he saw Murray make a great run and he thought, I've tried it twice and it hasn't come off. I'll try and play a short one into feet and move off the ball, and in the end it was just picked off. It was the wrong option for him.
Hartley, eyes on the ball. And a free kick. The man from Kyrgyzstan is pulled up. Dinliana. Stewart's now come down the left flank. Lima goes on the right side where there's more support. Dinliana on to Ritwik Das. That's a dangerous threatening ball, and meeting it was Jitendra. Stewart. Narendra. Dinliana. Narayan Das deals with it. Now Murray can't get his shooting boots on. Dinliana looking for Murray again. Damjanovic away. Alex Lima can't thread it through when he should have probably played a square. Was that dangerous play? The referee says you've got possession, keep playing. Jamshedpur trying ever so hard to get this equaliser. Stewart. Such a focal point of attention for his team. And Hartley will just head it back as he does. Any keeper having a player of Hartley's stature in front of him, that will breed confidence.
Well, you can see what they're doing at training a lot. Andy is defending crosses Chennai in and getting numbers behind the ball. They're doing a good job. It's a silly one there from Sajid, but on the whole, Chennai are defending really well and strongly. And once you get those numbers behind the ball, it does make it a little bit easier to defend crosses and just to shield things out like that, soak up the pressure, take a little bit at a time, and it's been good from Chennai in.
This man, he looks like he's been there all season. This is his first game. Of the season. He wasn't wanted by one club, but the two-time champion signed him in the January transfer.
He's got something to prove, and it's great to see players, you know, particularly playing alongside Damjanovic. It won't hurt him at all because he's going to learn a hell of a lot, and he knows he's stepping into a big defensive unit. Vandovic has made his career off playing this defensive transition style and get numbers behind the ball, and being 1-0 in front will suit Chennai in.
Musayev in a real tangle with Jitendra. Alex Lima. Murray's taken off. Damjanovic with him. Read it ever so well. You can't beat experience. Slavko Damjanovic has won 4 titles in Montenegro. a seasoned pro. But it's a much better passage here. And this is similar to what we saw from Jamshedpur at the start of the game. Credit to Ricky, but that throw is too strong. Way too strong. Musayev. Tapa. Excellent control. Exquisite touch. Musayev. He still has possession now, and the Hungarian trying to get it in behind the defence, and Jerry was offside. If there's one constant to their play, it's this man, the captain, Anirudh Thapa.
Yeah, he finds himself in great little pockets, and yeah, I'll tell you what, Jerry will feel hard done by there. He timed his run perfectly, and you can see the balance that Mirzayev has in the middle of the park, and he bounces off well from Tapa, and Tapa reads that situation really well to play things first time, give it back to him, give him the ball, and in the process, I think Mirzayev's hurt himself trying to play that ball over the top.
Anirudh Thapa, an ever-present in this team. His heat map is showing us again why he's such a crucial part of this team. 6 goals and 9 assists. He's equal with Krivullara in terms of the record assists for Chennai. There's great hope, isn't there, for Amit. His team are showing us why they've had such a good start to the season. But I remember in the last campaign, Eric, around this period, they'd only won 1 of 7 games, so they need to keep momentum going. Just 1 loss in 8 games. But as you said earlier, 2 draws back-to-back coming into the new year. Mirzayev has recovered from the injury. Coleman, who's had more touches in terms of passes for his team. And Anirudh Thapa's taken on Narinder Galot. And Narinder will jockey it out for a goal kick. Smart play by the defender.
I thought he was at odds there to lose that battle to Tapa. Did him for pace and took a good first touch pass him into the box. But Narinder Galot did really well there to stand his ground, not dive in, use his body and shoot it out for a goal kick. Great defending from the young man.
The defender that caught the eye, of course, of Igor Stimac. 3 international games to his name. And a goal.
Yeah, I think this will be suiting Chennai in, Andy. You know, they haven't dropped points in any of their games this season when they've gone into half-time in a leading position. They certainly know how to see games out. But you feel there's something more from Jamshedpur. They're asking all sorts of questions. Greg Stewart yet to fire.
Oh, what a mistake. They might be punished for it. Musayev receives the ball from the goal scorer. Delicate ball in. Pulled back. And a desperate clearance. Chested down by Sajid Dot. Anirudh Thapa. Narayan calling for it. Damjanovic is square, but it's always going to be the keeper's ball. Debjin. Sajid Dodd. Finds his man in Regan. And now Germanpreet square. Half an hour left in this game. Played in Bamberlin, match 47, the second of our double-header to kickstart the year, where earlier today the Blasters and FC Goa drew 2-2.
Solid header from Sajid. Looking the part tonight for Chennaiyin. Doing the job, not complicating his game.
Jitendra, it's a great pass. He's got Stewart in support. He's trying to open the channel for him, but Narayan has cool. As ever, such an experienced player to have in your defence. Rasav's looking to go alone and stolen by Narendra Galot. Lima. Been a great duel between the two number twos right in front of us here, Regan and Boris. Anirudh's up. Just gliding through, mesmerising work here from the captain. Well, was he fouled at the edge of the box? This is a healthy position. For a moment I felt that Pranjal Banerjee, the experienced referee, was going to put out the card, but he's been on fire tonight. This player,
he put on the afterburners as well. Had a little yard of speed. Was it a penalty? Wow, it looked close,
very close.
But he's got the speed there, gets away from Lima.
Just outside contact, initial contact. Pranjal's closer than us.
But you can see from Chennai's point of view, this counter-attacking DNA that they have inside them. It's been great to watch. Jamshedpur happy to keep the ball and try and get the ball wide and cross. And Chennai on that counter-attack.
Edward Van's ball's coming in. The German Preet. So an Indian player. All his career has been with Chennai. In base clubs and 6th time off the bench for the 29-year-old. Third campaign with the club. Mirsayev is set. It's curling and the keeper. Safety first is the way to go if you're not 100% about catching it clean.
Well, we've seen these go in over the last couple of weeks. And it's a good, strong hand from TP Ranesh just to make sure. Wasn't the most orthodox save I've ever seen, but does the job.
Big contributions for his new club, and equally from this man, the Hungarian. And the first contribution from the sub was a difficult one. Just a change of pace. Doesn't look too phased on the bench of Chennai in. Smart keeping. It's really a sweeper keeper role there.
Great piece of goalkeeping. Wasn't expecting him to get that ball and maybe clear it with his foot, but did some sort of dance routine to get it back in the box. It was amazing. Just here, a little 360. I'll keep this in the box, thank you.
You knew that Ritwik Dust was coming through, and Vishal Kate, how would he be feeling? It'd be mixed emotionally. You want your team to win. You're there for your team, but it's hard for you when you've been there. Every minute of your career at the club. No way through for the captain, Stewart. He's looking, the keeper was well and truly up. Excellent. You know, credit to the Scotsman for having a go like this.
I don't think anybody in the whole world was expecting him to do this. It's just completely out of the blue, but Debjit was off his line. And have just bobbled at the wrong moment. If that would have been on target, I think Dejic would have been in trouble. He's starting to wake up now, the Scot. He's hungry.
There's going to be a couple of changes in front of us. Mobashir and Isham Bandita coming in. So on Coyle, the next out or the next stoppage, we're going to see a couple of changes. Jamshedpur being trying to claw their way back in, trailing a goal. Ricky and Boris have worked very hard in this second half, but so Boris is being replaced by Pandita, two different types of players, and Mobashir replacing Chitendra. Mobashir Rahman came on against Kerala very, very late. His first appearance of the campaign, and Damjanovic heads away, as does Tapa. Hartley.
What I've noticed a lot, Andy, with the way Jamshedpur do play and line up on this left-hand side, Alex Lima's predominantly left-footed, and he opens himself up quite often playing to the left-hand side. You know, gives Ricky a chance to get on the ball, but what it does is, you know, they're overloading this left-hand side a lot of the times and not using the right-hand side as much. Particularly when Stewart drifts across into those areas, he tries to double up and put the ball, or make them put the ball in areas that Stewart's on that side to double up and make 2v1s, 3v1s. It's a good tactic from Jamshedpur.
Saves ball short, Lima, but the Hungarian so strong, wins the physical. Duel wins the free kick and gets it rolling quickly, this time from distance. And then from Kyrgyzstan, trying to replicate Stewart, but much closer to the goal, and Bosco's thinking we've got possession, peak possession.
Yeah, we're certainly on to play out wide, but watching the goals flying in the Hero Indian Super League, I think everyone's going to be trying these the next couple of weeks.
Hartley. Plenty of time for the Hungarian. It's a dangerous ball. It's dealt with by Narinder Gallant. Tapa always looks comfortable. Doesn't look phased with play. Oh, that's a cheeky back heel. Hungarian almost fed it through for Edward Vance Paul. Stewart, Sajid Dot climbing all over him. Stewart wants to get, Murray rather wants to get things moving. Stewart's taking the free kick. So they've got three attacking weapons now out there with Pandita, Murray and Stewart. Ritwik Das has looked the part on the right side. So there's no shortage of offensive weapons here for Jamshedpur.
Yeah, Owen Coyle knows he's got to go for it now. "20 minutes left in the game. They need to get one back pretty soon." Chennai and Masters at closing these games out.
Will it be Hartley receiving this set piece? Nice flight and elevation, and that's a throw in. It's a throw in, and for a first game, yeah, for a first game, you can't stop praising this player, Sajid Dot.
You know, when you come into a new team and a new lineup, you want to do your job. You don't want to get involved in too many things where you might make a mistake and cost your team. But he's been throwing himself into absolutely everything tonight.
Definitely helps having a coach who was a former top-class defender as well. Hartley. Bandita. There's a overlap on. Delivery's too short. Mariana away, but Ritwik Das. Bashir playing his 50th game in all competitions for Chennai. It's beyond Murray. Ricky. Deflection. Do you go with the first time cross or try to beat your man in Regan?
Well, I think in that situation, Andy, he's probably looked at the numbers they had in the box and tried to deliver something early. And Jordan Murray just missed that chance. But you can see the substitutes coming on for Jamshedpur making an impact already.
They love the set pieces to Jamshedpur. Murray's tracking near post. It goes past him and goes past Hartley and it hit Bandita. Mobashir. Good to see him back. Sub, a low ball in and Debjit at the near post covers.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, forcing the goalkeeper into a save. Debjit's not really had a hard shot at him yet in this game, and that's a good shot across the face of goal. Anything can happen. And Mobashir's looked lively on that right-hand side for Jamshedpur, but he had options as well. Stewart was at the far post.
For Chennai fans, we can tell you that Chante is stripped down and ready to come in. Murray looking for an equaliser, and that's, well, it's launched and it's blocked by Damjanovic. Body's on the line quite literally here. Covering. Chennai have had a rough run in December. This one win to show in 6 games as Stewart still, he slots it, down goes the keeper, Murray, the rebound blocked. Regan with a brilliant block, and now the turn, the shots. Over the top from the Australian.
Well, they're trying everything, Jamshedpur. Getting good entries into the box, and you think Stewart's going to hit it with his right foot. Cuts back onto his left, back onto his right, and it opened up for him. And Murray couldn't hit the target. And this one he probably should. Keep it down. But Stewart asking questions, jinking left, jinking right. It opened. Up for him. If he would have lifted that into the far corner, I don't think Debjit would have got there, but Jamshedpur are pressing, trying to find that equaliser.
Chante comes in for the Hungarian. Well, Jamshedpur have had more shots than any other team in the Hero Indian Super League, but no return here tonight. They're the chances that must go in.
If Valskas is on the pitch, maybe that goes in.
That won't be happening anymore.
Well, you'd like to think, Andy, if you're going to get rid of a player or let a player leave of that quality, somebody else must be coming in.
Yeah, there has to be a plan B. Offside. It's been an invigorating second half. There's only just under 16 minutes left of it.
Yeah, slightly offside there. Good call from the linesman. Two defenders. Get further up the pitch, but they're locked in now.
Just a wall of Jamshedpur players clean up, but they've turned it over again and given away the free kick. Ripitas, the top sprints have come from Boris, and then 4 Chennaiyin players. Drinks.
But, you know, you can never count him out, as you said, Andy. He's got another 10-15 minutes to produce something. He's had an opening on his preferred left peg 5 minutes before, and
let's look back at some of the classic goals that we were there. Golasso, that was breathtaking. Tipping, moving quickly, and this one. Set piece brilliance.
What can you say? Just watch.
Thinking 131 shots they've had this campaign.
Yeah, but you need to hit the target, and you know, they've lost a striker who is so consistent with getting his shots on target. And he needs to do more to hit the target, and especially in those
comfortable work for Mr. Rainesh. And Narrow put the hand up for the offside. Hyderabad on 15. Kerala Blasters and ATK Mohun Bagan on 14. And Chennai.
Yeah, there's Dimliana all over Damjanovic, was asking the question from the referee. He couldn't get away. The ball was nowhere near him, but between Jordan Murray and Peter Hartley, and it's the super sub who you expect to score those. Last season for FC Goa, who was finding himself in those positions regularly and scoring. Damjanovic is livid with Gikiewicz as he knows he's got to defend better. The results on the line. Chennai need these 3 points.
So Alex Lima goes in the book. First time he's been booked this campaign. Descendant looks like. But in all honesty, Eric Pardew, they've had 3 great chances. Well, one of them was a double chance. Make that 4, and they're still trailing.
Well, is that the hangover from Valskas leaving? I'm not too sure, but when you lose a goal threat, when you lose a goal scorer in this league, sometimes you look to other people to try and, get you in those positions, and, jumping from one club to the other has surely shaken up Jamshedpur, and, I think they could have done with him tonight for sure.
Absolutely. And they've had an extra 4 days to get ready for this one. They played on Boxing Day. Chennai played on the 30th at Tilak. So a lot of drama in the second half. As Jamshedpur went looking for the equaliser. Stewart with 5 goals to his name, felt he might have had a 6th. Then Murray with a rebound. It's blocked. It really was bodies on the line.